All right, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to EdTech Mixed Play. This is episode 36, and this is part 3 of our Google Summit sharing. We have a panel of educators who want to share some awesome projects and things that they've learned from the Google Summit. So we'll get to them in a minute, and we'll find out who they are. Just a couple reminders for our audience out there. Don't forget to check out our website. It's bit.ly/edtechmixplay, where we archive all of our past episodes, our show notes, our calendar. Tonight's episode will be up there after we wrap up, and check that out. And we, for every episode, we do have a show notes document, which you can check out here at bit.ly/mixplate36. This is a Google Doc, and our panel of guests here have graciously shared their projects and resources, so feel free to check that out. And the doc is set to view with comments, so we do encourage our audience to ask questions and share their own resources. You can add that via comment or a suggestion. So bit.ly/mixplate36. Check out tonight's show notes. And let's get to introductions. So I'll start us off. I'm Mike Fricano. I'm a Tech Integration Specialist for Iolani School. Good evening, everyone. And we'll just start from the left for me, so it's Brie. You want to introduce yourself, Brie?
Hi, I'm Brie Fukumoto. I'm a preschool teacher at Mililani Ike Elementary School, and I really like technology.
Thanks, Brie. All right, Liz, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Liz Yuen. I work with Brie at Mililani Ike Elementary School. I'm the technology coordinator there.
Thanks, Liz. And Kaui?
Aloha mai, my name is Kaui Angell. I am a school counselor at Ke Kulakaiapuni Anoinoe, the Hawaii Immersion School.
Ooh, thanks for joining us tonight. Laura?
Oh, hi. My name's Lara Mangieri, and I am an English teacher at Radford High School. I teach 10th and 12th grade English.
Great. Thanks for joining us. Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Colte. I'm the librarian at Halikula. My dog's going to bark, so I'm talking really fast.
That's okay. Thanks, Michelle. And Sarah.
I'm Sara Romfo. I'm a teacher at Kailua Intermediate School, and I teach electives. I teach crafts, computers, yearbook, and digital media.
Wow. That's quite a variety.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight, Sarah.
Thanks.
Okay, before we get started, I just want to remind our audience, if you're watching live tonight and you want to participate in the discussion, or you're itching to ask a question, you can do that via the Q&A app. Just click on the little waffle icon that's up here in the corner of your Hangout screen, and you can ask us a question or participate in the discussion, and we'll respond to you as best we can tonight. So feel free to use that option to talk to us. And we're just going to start from the top of our show notes document tonight. So that means, Liz, you're up first. So what do you have to share with us tonight?
Hi. I'm going to be sharing with you a lesson that I did with my 4th grade students. It was an integrated lesson that touches on the health common course, the health standards for 4th grade, and it spanned, I want to say, about 5 45-minute sessions. So it was a pretty big lesson. We started off with some co-constructing of criteria, and the students actually came in to see me. I work in a technology lab, so I'm just with a bunch of computers. The kids come in, they rotate in and out. They came in to see me, and they just knew that they had to research something about health. So we narrowed it down to 2 things, the eating healthy and exercising, and then we worked together to co-construct essential questions about either eating healthy or exercising. From those essential questions, the kids were able to decide which one they'd rather research. And we started researching using Google Apps for Education. We used Google Docs first, the research tool, which is awesome. The kids love it. They're better at it than I am. They know how to do all special searches and everything. So they researched. Their homework from that lesson was to go home and finish up the research. And they're pretty good. They're very independent and able to do it. Those who don't have internet connection at home, I let them use the lab after school if they need to, or come in during recess. So they're able to get their homework done. Then I showed them a way to present it, because then we did this research, what are we going to do with it? So I used something called Powtoon. Powtoon, if you haven't heard about it, it's a really awesome, fun way to present your research or anything that you're doing, basically. The kids love it because you can pick little custom animations, put them on there, and you can add your voice, you can add your own soundtrack, so it's like slideshow on steroids. So I'm going to quickly screen share Powtoon real quick if I can get my internet to go. Mike knows my internet is terrible. So let me see if I can get it to load, and I'll show you guys the interface real quickly. This is easily integrated into Google, into GAF. It's great because if you go into your Google Drive, you can go to add more apps, and this is one of the Drive apps you can use. So it'll save your Powtoons into your Drive. I'm just trying to get it loaded right now. It's really slow. Give me a second.
Is there an EDU version of Powtoons?
Yes, there is. So I use the Powtoon for EDU,
cool.
The free version. For a certain amount of time, they unlocked a bunch of different, I want to say resources within Powtoon, but it was only for about a month or so last summer. So it is limited, but the kids don't care. It's good enough for them. So let me just show you real quick. Let's go. Okay, share.
There we go.
All right. Okay, so this is the interface for Powtoon. You can choose from Studio or Slides. The older kids, 4th and 5th grade, we use Studio. Studio is awesome because you can put in little animations and everything. Slides is a beta version. It's a very simple, easy to use slideshow generator. I did it with my 3rd graders, and they're just learning how to take the information that they've researched and synthesize it and create a product. So we did it simple, but for 4th, 5th grade, skip this. Is it going? Okay, here we go. All right, you get to choose templates. I always tell the kids, let's just choose blank so that they can be creative, because I love to see what they come up with. They always want to pick some sort of fancy template, but when they use their own imagination, it comes out so much better. Oh, see? You can see my internet is terrible. Well, it's powtoon.com. You can go to the EDU version. Oh, there we go. Let's see if it'll let me scroll. Okay, so the kids always use blank, but there's a bunch of pre-made versions in here. And so what they did was they took the information that they researched, synthesized it, and combined all the info, and they had to storyboard it. So I give them, we're thinking map school, so I gave them a flow map, and they had to plug in the flow map and kind of pre-plan and storyboard how their Powtoon was going to go about. And they'd bring that back in. We practiced in class with a title slide just to kind of get used to the interface, and I actually assigned this as homework. So they didn't work on it so much in school as they did outside of school. So when they came back to school the next tech session, we opened it up for questions, meaning that the kids were able to generate some questions. I wrote them on the board, and we went down that list, and their children in the class were able to answer the questions because some kids had tried adding in peers as background. Some kids had figured out how to customize the music. So it was really good. It was a great way for the children to become the teachers. And there, see? If I can kind of, oh boy. One day I will buy better internet. Okay, so these are the different themes that you can choose from. Some of them move, so when you drag in the little characters, they'll wave to you and do all sorts of cool things, lift weights. The kids like that one. There's a buff guy in one of these characters, and they're able to tie that in. So just drag and see. There, see how he talks? So they love it, of course. I have a sample of what the kids did, and this little girl who created this, oh boy, she loved it. Her dad said he couldn't stop her. She just sat there at home for hours working on it. So this is, I'll just show you a little bit of her Powtoon, if that's all right. Let's see if I can get it to go with my Wi-Fi. Oh, it's laggy. Sorry about that, guys.
It's okay. You can kind of see it.
And they were practicing persuasive writing in class, so we integrated that as well, and citing sources within the writing. So she integrated all of that. So sending it back to class, the teachers were able to further talk about the health standards, followed up with lessons. So it was a real rich project in the end. Oh, it's so laggy. It flows much better when you have good Wi-Fi. Okay, so it goes on and on. It's not playing very nicely right now, so I'm going to stop it there, if that's okay with you folks.
So how does Powtoons integrate with the Google Apps account? Can you kind of explain how that works a little bit?
Oh, yeah. In Google Drive, let me see if I can pull it up and screen share with you guys again, if possible. Okay, I'm going to screen share again and show you folks if I can get my computer to cooperate.
I want to give a quick shout out to Peggy George. She's a longtime viewer. She's chiming in via the Q&A. She's watching from Phoenix, Arizona right now, so I just wanted to give her a shout out and say hi.
Hi!
Thanks for watching, Peggy.
All right, so Powtoon. Oh, sorry, Mike.
Okay, go for it. Sorry.
Okay. No. Powtoon integrates into Google Drive as simple as clicking on New. This is the new updated drive. If it's the older drive, same thing. You just click on the red button. Go to More and then connect to More Apps. And then, oh, come on, please load. Within this little window, when it does load, it allows you to search for apps that you can connect to your drive, and then you can actually create the Powtoons directly in the drive. Oh, and there it is because it's so popular. You see it right here? Click on it, and I can add into it. So it'll actually save the Powtoons into your Google Drive. It'll also allow you to access it from Drive. It's very, very convenient. This is my home account, so I don't have it connected, but in my school accounts it's there. So you just hit connect. And eventually it goes. We don't want to watch it do that, so I'm going to stop the screen sharing now. Yep, so in the end, the kids were able to create their Powtoon. They did a lot of the work at home, and then we came back and we had a peer review showcase day. So they were able to view each other's Powtoons. Then we had our criteria checklist that we had co-constructed, and they were able to give feedback on that. We do something called 2 stars and a wish. So 2 things they really, really liked about the Powtoon. And we're learning about giving specific feedback, so we had talked about that as well. And then something that they could improve upon. So the kids took back the feedback that they received from their classmates, and then they were able to go ahead and revise one last time before they linked it to their Google website, which is a Google site. So we integrated it that way, and then their homework was to show it to their parents. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Cool, that's really awesome. I really like Powtoons. It's a really fun and engaging way to share your learning and display content. And
yeah,
thank you, George. She's in the Q&A again. She shared an example of a Powtoon she found last week that was created by Tracy Watanabe as an introduction to EdCamp. So I tossed that link into the show notes if anybody's interested in checking that out as well. It's another really cool example.
Cool.
Right.
Hey Liz, for the music, do the kids find that music right within Powtoons, or did they find it someplace else on the web?
Okay, well, this little girl decided to use her own customized music, but it's integrated right within Powtoon. It's limited, I want to admit. There's some free music and then the music that you have to pay for. But they can also hold their own music. We did talk about copyright and all of that in the beginning of the school year. So we said, because this is for personal use, you're not publicizing it, it's okay, we can use it in this instance. So we also talked about how there can't be lyrics. So if someone's singing, how it might distract from the reading. So that's why that little girl had pulled just the soundtrack to Happy, if you could hear it. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it's really fun. I think the kids love being able to put all those multimedia elements in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Liz. All right, so next up we have Brie. What do you want to share with us tonight, Brie?
Okay, good job, Liz. Okay, so I did a lesson with my preschoolers, and I am going to screen share. Okay, so I did a lesson with my preschoolers. We did a lesson on what animals need, and we also learned about different pets and different zoo animals, because one week we did a lesson on pets, what kind of pets, and what are pets, and then the other week we did a lesson about the zoo, different zoo animals, and we actually went to the zoo. So the day after we went to the zoo, we got to do a little lesson, and first of all, I had set up the lesson as, okay, so what do animals need? So if you look at this Google Doc, we kind of made a tree map, and it's the different like zoo animals and what pets need, and so they need a lot of similar things, but the zoo animals don't need shelter. So that's kind of leading into what we did with the sorting. So what I had each student do was I made a actual sample, and we did two together. So it's a I do, and then we both did one, and then I had everyone else do their own individual ones. So we use a smart board. So it's a pen that's hooked up to a small camera that's attached to the projector, and I forget what brand it was, but we use that to have the students actually manipulate the icons on the actual screen. So it's projected up to a whiteboard, and then the kids can actually move the different animals to the different places. So I had each person's account. I made a tree map for each student, so I got to keep the data on what they chose, and then I kind of talked to them about why they chose different things. And then when we did the whole group session, we went back to the main one, this one here, and we sorted it all out, and then we had each other do questions. And so I actually made my own cheat sheet of questions, and I use Google Docs to do that. So what do pets need to survive? And then you're asking your guiding questions and all of those good stuff. And along the way, I use this app called Class Dojo. And so we give each student points for participation. We give them points for doing good work, for answering questions. And then just a side note to what we also did is we do a letter of the week. So I actually wasn't prepared with a chart. So what we did was we kind of looked it up online. So I had added, so I did the insert and an image. And so what starts with the letter E? And then I asked the students, and we were able to do a search. And so we said elephants. And then so we searched that, and then we had each student pick. So the person who said elephant got to pick the picture that went onto the actual map for the letter E. So that was kind of how we how we use technology, but not how we integrated it into our system, our lesson. And I kind of wish that Google Drive was able to do this on the iPad, because then they would be able to manipulate it with their fingers. But I guess that technology is not available yet. But
that's what I'm waiting for, Google Drawing for the iPad.
Yeah, so it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to have them actually pick up the pointer and actually go up to the screen and move and manipulate and everything, and it's cute because they're so little, so you have to move it all the way to the top. But they had fun, and it was really integrating, and we did one-on-one, and then we did a group session. So we used at the end, we actually used these. I forgot to bring them, but we had the actual picture of the zoo and the pets, and we had them lift it up, and which one do you think? And each kid had to lift it up. So it was like a further integration into the lesson.
So you can't have a lion as a pet?
No, well, you could, but it's kind of scary, they said.
Try. Yeah, scary. And people, I see some educators say you can't use Google Drive with kindergartners, and here you are using it with preschoolers. That's amazing. And it's a simple way of introducing them to technology and allowing them to use Google Drive. They don't have their own accounts, correct? So this is all through your account.
Yeah.
But by way of an interactive whiteboard, you're allowing you're able to collect data, and you're allowing them to interact with the technology and use it to demonstrate their learning. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool example.
I like that you can make individual slide sheets. Like I made a drawing for each kid, so I was able, and it was just a copy. So it was beautiful. You make one master template and you copy it, everything, and then you just add names on it, and you stick it all in one folder, and boom, and you're there.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And I believe the product you're talking about is the IPEVO.
There you go.
Do you remember, Liz? Do you remember what the product, the name of it is?
Yeah, it's the IPEVO whiteboard.
Yeah.
It's a very cheap alternative to a smartboard.
It works?
It works?
Yeah. You guys want to check it out? IPEVO sells it. It's a tiny little box that sits on your projector, and it comes with an interactive pen, and it basically turns your computer into an interactive whiteboard without having to buy a $5,000 flat panel TV. It's like, what is it, like $60 or something?
But I would take that $5,000 panel.
Oh yeah, I think anybody would. But
yeah, let's do that.
Cash cool. It's a decent alternative, right?
Panel would be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Brie.
Thank you.
Cool ideas. All right, so next up we have Kaui. Go for it.
Hello. Hi. So I apologize in advance that mine is in Hawaiian language. Okay. I'm a school counselor at Anwe School, and we just recently purchased the Naviance online curriculum for college and career readiness. So for my 8th graders, what we did was they kind of don't like this online college and career readiness program. Can you guys see up on my screen? Sorry.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, okay. Just making sure I didn't do screen share before. I want to make sure I ran it correctly. So in order for them to get engaged and want to do the online activities, I always try to do a fun, interactive game, worksheet, handout, something that's going to pre-teach them what they're going to learn in the online lessons. And so I created a bingo card. So we split the group up into 4 groups. There were about 6 in each group. And I shared with the leader a blank bingo card like so. And on top of our smart board, I posted these questions that you see here. And the purpose was I gave them about 25 minutes. And they were to answer as many of these questions as they possibly can in the 25 minutes as a group. And my intent was to hopefully, through collaboration and creativity, they'll get smart and share the links with everyone because they each all had their own individual computer. And so it was very interesting to see the dynamics and how they work together, where for the first 5 minutes, they were all sharing one screen of the computer, even though they each had their own personal computer. And eventually, they got smarter, and they realized by clicking on the share button, they could share this answer sheet with their peers, and they can all collaboratively look at this page here and answer the questions individually instead of going back and telling what the leader the answer and filling it in the blanks. So basically, the bingo questions in a nutshell just talks about colleges. What is a FAFSA? How many years do you get a bachelor degree? What are these different colleges? how much does it cost to go to college in regards to being a resident or a non-resident of the state? What are Pell Grants, the differences between scholarships and grants and loans. And so these are things that I wanted them to go search on Google and find the answers for themselves and plug it in. And these were preliminary questions that will be answered once they did the online curriculum for Naviance. So what they did was individually in each of their groups, so there are 4 groups, after 25 minutes, I actually had them copy their answer sheet and paste it into this Google slide. And then when we came together as a group, we were able to answer the questions, and I highlighted the ones in yellow, and that indicated that they got it correct. And so it was a really nice way for they all to get the answers and then to see, you know, who were the winners of a game by filling in the bucket with yellow. So that's basically what we did, and then with helping with these Google Slides, they're very interested and they learned more about college and career readiness. So when it came down to apply it to the online Naviance curriculum, it made the transition a lot easier, and they were actually very excited because they learned from doing their own research on their own and playing a game. And that's it.
It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, slides is, I think, is the best. It's the best option for student collaboration because it's much easier to keep things organized and flowing smoothly. So it's a great way. It's a great use to allow them to collaborate, but also to make it fun and engaging. It's a really cool idea. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have Sarah talking about zombies. Go for it, Sarah.
Yes. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to share my screen. I watched one of the Hangouts from a few weeks ago to see kind of what other people were doing, and I happened to see someone else share the zombie project.
Yeah, it's okay. Oh, did she freeze? She froze. Give her a second, see if she comes back. Did you freeze too, Laura, or did you get booted?
It knocked me off.
Oh, it knocked you off?
Yeah,
Could
it
be
knocked me
lag.
off. So.
Probably what happened to Sarah, too. You know, we'll give her a few minutes to come back. How about we skip down to Laura? Are you ready to share, Laura? Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me.
We'll let you share, and then if Sarah comes back, we'll let her finish up. Oh, there she is. Okay, well, let's see. See if she's back. Are you back with us, Sarah?
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
That's okay.
I was like logged out.
That's okay. Okay, well, let's continue with Sarah, Laura, and then we'll finish.
Okay.
Up. Okay, thanks. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. No worries. Your evil twin there will likely drop off in a second. There she goes. Okay, go for it, Sarah.
Now I don't have the button at my left side to share my screen.
Do you have the toolbar? Is the toolbar there?
No, none of it. Only the top one. Like I have the mute button, but I don't have anything at the side.
Maybe like slide your mouse off the screen and then maybe go back onto the Hangout screen. See if it catches a second time. I think also if you click if you click in the middle of your video window, it should hide or reveal the toolbars.
Huh.
Is that helping?
No, I mean I'm moving my mouse all around. There's just nothing's coming up.
That's okay. You know what?
I have to screen share though to share it.
How about I screen share? And I'll put my screen up for everyone to see. And then if you want to talk about it while I show your resources, will that work?
Sure. So okay. I was going to work off the sheet called Notes for Hangout.
Okay.
It's one that I linked.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, my first link.
Okay. I'll screen share that for everyone. Let's give it a There it is. That one there?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So, so this is the first thing that's in my notes. So if anyone wants to use any of these ideas, I have, these are all clickable links to everything. We don't need to look at, sorry, the screen's just real weird. We don't need to look at the YouTube video, but so what the project is, I'm sorry, I don't think I can do it this way. I can't watch your screen because it keeps like telescoping away.
No, that was me. I'll stay on the document now.
Okay, I don't know. Can maybe the next person go and I can like try and get?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it is. Why that thing is gone from the side.
What you may want to do is exit the Hangout
Mm-hmm.
and then come back into it and see if that refreshes the toolbar.
Yeah.
All right, Laura,
Okay.
you want to share then?
Sure.
Okay, Laura. Sorry, guys.
Okay. So basically, this activity was part of a larger, what am I trying to say? Part of a larger activity. So we're doing this new curriculum called Springboard. And so we had an activity on hunger and the rights of a child. And so we read 3 different documents, and then at some point, not during this point, but at some point they're going to be writing an essay. But part of it was them to research some ideas for their essay, and so I thought instead of having them do it alone, that I would create kind of a structure for them to look at, and then they could do it with a group. And in Google, we have Google Chromebooks at our school right now. Wait, am I still on? Okay, am I still on?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Okay, so Google Chromebooks at our school are fairly new, and so they're new to this as well as me. But anyway, so I created this document, and then it was kind of a trial by fire, but I had them answer like a little Google form in order to get all their emails and everything, and then I plugged it in and I shared this research template out with them, and then they had to go through the questions and answer them as a group. And so it wasn't only research, but it was also a pre-writing activity that they're going to use for their paper. I'm hoping to get the Google Chromebooks again so they can do it all online, but we will have to see. But anyway, this is just the template that I shared with them, and they had to go through and just answer some questions, like create a question as a group. What would they like to know about hunger? I see some typos. And then they use the Chromebooks to research, and then they could put their resources here, evolving questions, and then they had to come up with logical, empirical, and anecdotal evidence. And then they are going to do a short presentation on their what they found. And so this is the template, and then I do have I have some examples. So let me just see if I can find the one let's see. Wait. Okay, so this was run group. So here are their names, and then it says, do you support the author's argument? We support it. One question was, what can we do to help stop hunger? This is a little general. I was hoping for something a little more specific. But then they have their resources and then additional questions. Why don't people seek government help? Do people protest for food stamps? And then filling in their evidence, and then their outline. And I'll show you another one too, because they, different groups had different examples and stuff.
Cool. Are you screen sharing? Laura?
Yes. Can you not see it?
No, we just see your video. Maybe try screen share again.
Oh, okay.
Just click on the green, that green icon with the white arrow.
Okay.
And choose entire screen. There it is. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and just click on the tab.
Heard me talking the whole time. That's fine.
That's all right.
Okay, so
cool.
Anyway, let me go back to, this was my template that I was talking about. So I shared this with all the students, and then this is one that's filled out. So I don't know if they name their group Follow Me. I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but I know what who the group is. So it just said, we support the claims. Write your questions. Are governments in all nations doing anything about world hunger to any degree? They found lots of resources. These are, evolved questions. Why do nations have messed up agriculture policies? So on and so forth. And then they also, this was just kind of a review. They had to look up the definition and then find the corresponding evidence. And then this is just their little outline. So, and then I have lots of other examples. But so it was kind of an activity within a lesson. The whole lesson didn't revolve around, doing everything on the computer, but I integrated it in because we're still kind of, we're all new to this, so.
That's great. How many kids were collaborating on a single document? Was that just one per?
Four.
Per doc?
Four kids.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Did those students come? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no. So I was going to say they were all able to share it with each other. So they were all typing in at the same time, which was really awesome. They loved it. I mean, they were just like, this is so much better, than pen and paper. So it was really awesome. They really liked it.
That's great. Did any of those groups have any like complications or issues with things being deleted by accident, or do they have to go back and to the revision history and find something? Any of those issues kind of arise, or do they kind of figure it out for themselves?
They were really good at figuring it out. I think the biggest issue we had in the beginning was them copying the document to make it their own document. They didn't understand that, and I had it, up on the smartboard, but I was like, I can see all of you, so you need to make your own copy. And so they were like, oh, okay. So, but they were actually really pretty amazing. So they got it really quickly.
That's great. Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, great examples too. Okay, Sarah, do you have your toolbar back?
I do. I'm good.
All
it was
right.
like I was watching it before, but not being a part of it or something.
Yeah,
so,
that's okay.
Yeah, so thanks for letting me come back. I'm going to share now. So basically I did a project. Basically I did a project that I kind of copied real closely from one of the sessions at the GAF Summit. And it was about if there's a zombie apocalypse going on right now. I have students in 7th and 8th grade, so this is a subject that's interesting to them. I could care less about zombies, but that's kind of the premise, is there's a zombie apocalypse going on, you need to survive. And then I had certain things that they had to do to show their survival plan. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing I did, in case there was some kids in the room who don't really know about zombies, I found a short YouTube video. It was like 3 minutes, and it wasn't too scary. It's a prank, so it shows like people dressed up as zombies. Like this is at a college campus, and they went all over the city like scaring people. So if anyone for some reason didn't know what a zombie is, they kind of saw this video that showed. Then I showed them a template that I have, which is what they're going to have to fill out in order to complete this project. So this is my template, and I really copied it from the Summit, and then changed it to things specific to what we've learned in my class. And there's some Google tools that I had them use that we haven't done in my class. So this is the template. If I scroll through the pages, you can see these slides are empty because this is where the students will have to put their work. And the things they had to do is use a Google spreadsheet. That's something we've never done before. They have to get screenshots, which we've done, but of certain places using Google Maps and Google Street View. They have to make a Google drawing, which we've never done. And they have to make some Photoshop files. We've done Photoshop. And then they had to put everything in a Google presentation. So it's some things that are review, Photoshop, some things that are brand new, Google Drawing. And I shared this out to all of them. They made their own copies, and then they're going to put their work into this. The next thing I did was I made a Google form because I needed to put the students into groups, and I wanted someone in each group who kind of could be the leader, so someone who knew like a little bit about zombies. So the last questions on my form asked how much do you know, because I wanted like a zombie expert in each group. They've used Google Forms a lot. I use them a lot. I've never used them to make groups, but I really liked doing it because here I asked who they would like to work with, and then I asked if there was anyone that I should not put them in a group with. And they had to explain why. And a lot of students actually had a legitimate reason why they don't work well with someone else. So it was good to avoid any of those conflicts that I wouldn't have known about if I just did random groups. And they're always happy to fill out forms. They like them. Then one of the things we're supposed to do at our school is get student input on grading ideas. So the first things that we did as a group were they had 10 minutes. They had to make one Google slide that said how they would grade this, what they think I should grade on. So I gathered all their ideas, and then I made a rubric from that. So each group made a slide. They all look pretty different, and they all had their ideas, and then from these I kind of tallied them up and made a rubric. So they feel a little bit more invested in the project, I think, when they help to figure out how it's graded. We do a journal write every day. I don't need to show you these, but to get our Common Core writing in, they wrote a bunch of journal prompts. One, I asked them about what questions do you still have, and I got some frequently asked questions. I also asked them different ideas, like what else could we add to this project.
What did you have them journal with?
We use Jupyter Grades at our school,
Okay.
and that's what I do my journals in. I've considered some, like, you know, like a Google Doc that they share with me and add to each day or something, but the Jupyter Grades makes it really easy for me to grade it, and I like to have them in Jupyter Grades every day because then there's no excuse for not knowing that they're missing something or knowing what their assignment is. So that's the only thing I did that's not Google related, but I included it as part of the project. So Google Drawing is something that we have never done as a class, and so I showed them a really simple Google Drawing that I started drawing from scratch. We'd never used it at all. I showed them how to draw a shape, put in a text box, put in a picture. Spreadsheets we'd also never done, so I just pulled up a spreadsheet, put in a few random numbers, how to show them once, how to add it up. And then let me show you my student example of what they've started to make. So we're not done with this project. We're currently working on it. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I don't have a link to it. Okay. I have one. Let me just find it real quick. Because you can really see they really jumped on this. They really liked it. I have groups of about 3 students. Yeah, they're all groups of 3 students. And they're working really well on it. People like it. So let me see. The one I want to show is this one. So what they're ultimately going to turn in and get graded on is this PowerPoint. So they start off, so they took my template, they added their own theme to it. So they've got their names and a picture they took. They have to do 15 things they would keep with them, and they have to have a link to their Google Sheet. And this is clickable, and then it'll open up their sheet. They also had to use a formula down here. So when I click on that, I can see they've got the formula. They have to give different screenshots of Google Maps or Google Street View showing where they could get supplies, where it would be dangerous, and they have to explain why. This one's a little hard to read, but they do have their caption explaining each picture. This is one of their drawings. Looks like they have to have shapes, text, and pictures. So this one has that. This is not a super elaborate drawing, but these guys have quite a bit of slides done, so that's why I chose to show theirs. They have their Photoshop files, so we had to learn that you can't put layered Photoshop files into Google, so we learned how to flatten them during this project. And then I also gave them an option. They can do 3 bonus pages if they have other ideas, because they really kind of do have a lot of ideas about the zombie stuff. So this is one of their bonus pages that this group has started. So they're almost done. We need probably a couple more days on this project. But that's it. When they have questions, when they ask me, how do we add the formula in Google Sheets, I tell them ask another group. So they're really going around the room and asking other people and figuring things out themselves. So it's been a fun project, I think, for all of us.
Hey, Sarah, did you say that you folks are a GAVE school?
We are. So every student has a KIS Gmail and Google account. They don't have computers hardly anywhere. So my room is a computer room. So in my room, we're one-to-one, but they don't hardly get to use computers the entire rest of the day, only for testing.
I really like how you've integrated so many different Google apps into this one project, and you've made it seem so seamless. It's really cool what you've done. And I love the using the Google form also for helping to choose your groups. I think that's a really great idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. It's one I'll use again in the future. It took me a while. What I did was I actually printed out the form, and then I highlighted, like, okay, so who is an expert? And then I actually cut up the form with scissors and, like, put, okay, these are our experts, and then I moved other people under them, so I kind of jigsawed it. I'm sure you could do it digitally, but I actually printed that thing out and cut it up to pick my groups. And I did not think of this project that puts all the different apps together. I totally copied it and just changed it. Like, I added the Photoshop, and I added things that we do in our room, but it's a great idea. It wasn't mine.
Except you implemented it with students and had great success, and GAVE was just over a month ago, so I think it's pretty amazing you've achieved all this. And how often do you see the kids? You don't see them daily, do you?
No, I do. I'm their computer teacher.
Oh, and you get to see this particular class every day.
Yeah, because I'm an electives teacher, so this is my period 2 and period 3 every day.
Yeah. Oh,
yes, we have 45 minutes a day to do this.
But you know what I think is really neat, then, is that you're teaching them so many tech skills, but they feel they're doing this challenge. It's game-based, gamifying the learning kind of, and it's not, okay, today we're going to learn PowerPoint. You're not doing it like that. You've woven it in seamlessly. I think it's really awesome.
Yeah,
thanks.
And I like how you've given them an opportunity to contribute to the creation of the project. So by allowing them to give input on who their team members are, I think is really powerful. And it's an honest question, right? Who do you not want to work with? And then make sure our students that every kid doesn't want to work with, and as long as they have legitimate reasons.
And then there was an option to, and they could also say, I'm fine working with anyone. So about half the class said, I'm fine working with anyone, and half the class pointed out a couple people that they didn't want to work with.
Yeah, and this whole zombie apocalypse project has been, I mean, like, as you mentioned earlier, someone in a past episode also shared it too. It was a pretty popular session. It's kind of become
Yeah, the idea of the project could be done with really any theme.
widespread.
Like, if you're social studies, you could have students, do different research on all, any kind of category could require a spreadsheet and require a drawing and require the slide presentation.
Yeah, I mean, with your drawing, you could integrate measurement. Maybe give them, like, you have so many square feet of space. Design a shelter around that. You could you could have them come up with a budget for those 15 items. Give them so much money, and you can only spend this much. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with it.
We did have to think about weight, and because at first they were putting in things like that were ounces and were pounds, and so I had to teach them that it's not the same to add up 32 ounces and 4 pounds. That doesn't equal 40 pounds. So we had to learn about that a little bit, and then when they had to convert stuff, they just used Google's conversion thing, like automatically they found it and used it.
Yeah. Cool.
And we had to talk about how much weight can you carry, because they wanted to have like 400 pounds of stuff with them, but
who's going to carry
on the run? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you want to be carrying 400 pounds when you're running from a horde of zombies.
No.
You'll be left behind. That's right. It's really amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Sarah.
Thank you.
And that document you shared is in our show notes, so feel free to check that out.
It is. I need to put the student sample in there, so I'll do that in a second.
Thanks for doing that.
Thanks.
Hey, Mike,
I think that's the...
That's it. I wanted to share just a couple things. So my desktop is a mess like usual, but in the show notes I added a few things. And actually, Brie, I added something for you. I'm not sure if it's something that you can still buy for your preschoolers. Maybe Liz can hook you up with it. But wait, let me share a couple things. First of all, really awesome to have you folks on the show tonight. And so I want to invite you folks to EdChat Hawaii tomorrow night, which Mike and I also co-host, and that's from 6 to 7. And then a big shout out to Mike. I hope you folks can see this. This is so cool. I was really proud to see one of the EdTech blogs you should see is Mike's. So I thought that was really cool. Congratulations, Mike. And then, sorry, this is, Brie, what I want to show you. Have you seen this, the Osmo gaming system? Oh, I bet I froze. Okay. And then there was one other one. Shoot, it's not coming up. This one. I thought this was really cute for Brie, this Tiggly Shapes, where your kids can interact with manipulatives and the iPad. So I thought this is kind of a neat thing. They do have it at the Apple Store, and it's about $80, I think. So I just wanted to toss that out for some ideas for the young ones, integrating iPads and manipulatives. I was wondering, though, Mike, don't you think that they could also integrate Sketch with the Google Draw? Like, I don't know, Brie, if you've ever tried that, or Liz, if you know, but I think you can, with Sketch or with Explain Everything, I think that you can bring in a Google Doc and then you can manipulate or draw or color. So I just wanted to toss out some other ideas, but I really like what you folks shared. And Liz, next to your link in the show notes, I just added also Megan from our school tech coordinator. She used Powtoons, her kids did actually, to create an Olelo video, and they're recognized tomorrow as a finalist, so I stuck that in the show notes so people could see. And then the other thing, shout out to Mike, is on Saturday, I put in the show notes, Mike, the link for the Google on-air conference, and you folks can listen to Mike talking about Google research at 8 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Is that right, Mike?
Bright and early.
Yeah, bright and early. You must have left to take care of baby because you didn't say anything about you being in the top 50. That is so cool.
I stepped out for a minute.
Is that what we voted for last week, or is that something different?
Yeah. No,
that's the voting one. Oh, okay. That was really cool. What an honor, too, because you're right by EdTechTeam and Eric Scheninger and all kinds of famous people. And there's our Mike Fricano. That was really awesome. Yeah, so congratulations, Mike. That's great.
Thanks. Are you guys signed up for EDU on Air this weekend? Coming weekend? You should.
What is it?
It's a free online conference organized by Google for Education.
Oh, I saw something about that.
Yeah, so it's all via Hangouts like this one, Hangouts on Air, which you can watch live on YouTube. But they'll all be recorded, so you don't have to be there live while it's happening. You can come back to it weeks, months from now and watch all of the recordings. They have like 70 plus different sessions on a variety of topics in education. Friday are the keynotes, so there's a handful of keynotes by different popular presenters from around the nation, and then Saturday are all like from 15 minutes to an hour long sessions on a variety of different topics by a variety of different presenters. So
I put the link in the show notes, Mike. Hey, is this the one, though, where you have to register in order to have access to the videos, or are they opening it? Anyone can watch it later on YouTube?
Yeah, I don't think you have to register to access it. It'll be up there. But I mean, I think if you register, you'll get the email notifications. In case you want those reminders.
And don't you think that if you liked the Google Summit, you would really enjoy these presentations too? I think it's going to be more of that kind of thing, and so you can't go wrong for free PD with Google stuff. So
yeah, and some of the presenters from our Hawaii Google Summit, or some of those featured speakers like James Sanders and Jay Atwood and all of them they're also doing some sessions, I think, that Saturday. So feel free to check those out. There's a great list of PD on that Saturday. Yeah. Thanks for sharing those things, Michelle. Appreciate it. And thank you to our guest educators. We appreciate you guys coming on and braving the Hangout on Air and sharing your project ideas and your resources with the world. We really appreciate that. So kudos to all of you. Thanks for coming on tonight. We had a couple of live viewers, Peggy George especially. She's an avid watcher of EdTech Mixplay. She does her own podcast through Classroom 2.0 if you guys want to check that out. But that's it for our show tonight. We appreciate everybody coming on and watching. And if you're watching the recording, check out the show notes. It's right down here below my face at bit.ly/mixedplate36. All of tonight's documents and resources are located there for our audience to check out. And tonight's episode will be archived along with all of our past episodes at our website, bit.ly/edtechmixplate. And we have a calendar of future episodes as well as all of our archived videos and show notes. So check that out. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you to our panel again. We appreciate it. And have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.